Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to review Elegant Ariel from the Little Mermaid series. Elegant Ariel has the exact same drop rate as Elegant Tiana at 36.36%, assuming that you have all of the other Tsums maxed out with the exception of this month's new Tsums. Her ability description is high scoring aerial Tsum and special magic bubbles appear. This gaming demonstration that you're currently watching right now is a skill level 1 game demonstration, so let's take a look at her stats. In order for you to activate her ability, you're going to need to clear anywhere between 21 to 27 Elegant Ariels off the screen. This number will depend on your skill level, and 21 to 27 is on the higher end. To be honest, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but when you factor in her ability, 21 to 27 is not too bad, and her minimum score is 30 with a maximum score of 1059. So maximum score is not too bad given that the ability is going to be a magic bubble, and it's not a regular magic bubble either, it's a special magic bubble, which I'll get into a little bit later. And if you want to get her to skill level 6, you're going to need 32 copies of her from either the premium box or using a skill ticket. And 32 is pretty average, it's not on the high end, it's also not low either. And let's take a look at Elegant Ariel's ability chart. Every single time you level up her skill level, two things changes. One is the amount of Tsums that's required to activate the ability, and then second is how many special magic bubble will appear during the ability time. And this is also going to alternate as well, and what I mean by that is that both of these things don't change. If you level up one skill level, it's either going to change the amount of Tsums that's required to activate the ability, or an additional bubble will appear. So for example, when you go from skill level 1 to skill level 2, it's going to require 2 less Tsums to activate the ability, but the bubble amount remains at 2. And when you level up from skill level 2 to skill level 3, the amount of Tsums required to activate the ability will remain at 25, but you're going to get an extra special magic bubble. So they're going to alternate. And by the way, if you guys are enjoying this type of content where I review Tsums, do monthly leaks, go over the pickup capsules as well as the selection boxes, please consider subscribing to this channel. Your subscription really helps me out a lot. And also I have a Discord server, so if you're interested in chatting more about the game or making more friends in the game so that way you can exchange hearts, consider scanning this QR code on the screen or using the links in the description down below to join the Discord server as well as the line group. Alright, back to Elegant Ariel. So let's take a look at all 6 of her abilities, starting off with skill level 1, 2, and 3. And as you see there, I was missing Elegant Rapunzel there. It took me a lot of tries to get Elegant Rapunzel. By the time I got my first copy of Elegant Rapunzel, my Elegant Ariel was already at skill level 4. So it is pretty difficult to get a copy of Elegant Rapunzel, and I hope that you guys are able to get at least one. But anyways, back to Elegant Ariel. She's a very easy Tsum to use. Her ability is fairly simple. So the one thing you really want to do is you want to be able to use the overcharge effect. And what I mean by that is you want to be able to press the ability button before your Tsum is fully charged. And then secondly, those magic bubbles aren't regular bubbles. They actually burst at a bigger rate. A normal magic bubble will only burst Tsums that are touching the bubble, but the burst diameter for the special magic bubble is double. So not only will it burst Tsums that it's touching, but it's going to burst Tsums that are 1 over the ones that it's touching. So normally you might get 7 clears, but with these special magic bubbles, you're going to get anywhere between 12 to 14, depending on the positioning of the special magic bubble. Another thing you want to do when you're using Elegant Ariel, or just actually any Tsums in general, is you want to burst magic bubbles from top to bottom. You want to try to avoid magic bubbles at the bottom of the screen because they are going to burst surrounding Tsums. So once the magic bubble ends up at the bottom of the screen, you're missing out on half of the clears essentially. And then secondly, once you activate the ability and the animation plays through, your priority should be to clear those magic bubble as soon as possible. You'll benefit in 2 ways. One, you might get back into ability time, and then secondly, you're going to avoid the magic bubble from touching the bottom of the screen. What I want to show you guys next is the abilities activated at the same time. And honestly, this one is not as exciting as the other gameplays, but regardless, let's take a look anyways. So it's fairly simple. Here, the animation is going to remain the same for all 6 of the skill level. Elegant Ariel will come out and turns a bunch of Tsums into high scoring Tsum and then creates these magic bubble. So again, these are going to be special magic bubble that will burst 2 times as much as the regular magic bubble. And take a look at the positioning of these special magic bubbles. They're always going to be in this exact same position every single time you activate the ability. So mentally you could prepare on your sequence on how you want to burst these bubbles. I recommend bursting the top left one first, and then the top right, and then the bottom left, and then the bottom right. Again, you want to avoid the bubbles from getting to the bottom of the screen, which I think in some of these gameplays it ended up happening because I didn't follow that sequence. I was trying to do diagonal, doing top left, bottom right, and then top right and bottom left. It didn't work out that way. I ended up with magic bubbles on the bottom of the screen. So always go from top to bottom. Moving on to skill level 4, 5, and 6, and the difference here is that it's going to be a lot easier to activate the ability, as well as having more special magic bubbles on the screen. At skill level 5 and skill level 6, you're going to get a total of 4 special magic bubble, whereas skill level 4, you're going to remain at 3 special magic bubble, but a lot easier to activate the ability. And at skill level 4 and 5, you're going to need a total of 23 Tsums cleared off the screen to activate the ability. And by the way, I do have full uninterrupted gameplays for all of the Elegant Tsums, so if you're interested in seeing those, check out the description in this video, or just check my channel in general. I will have gameplays that are uninterrupted, so that way you can see the full gameplays if you're interested in seeing those. Alright, so let's take a look at the abilities activated at the same time here. And the animation is going to remain the same between all 6 of the skill levels, so nothing changes there. Essentially, Elegant Ariel is going to come out, take a look at us, and then it turns a bunch of Tsums into high scoring Elegant Ariel, and then the bubbles will come out. So take a look at the positioning of the 4 magic bubbles for skill level 5 and skill level 6. Again, they're going to be in the exact same position, or at least they're going to spawn in the exact same position. But once the gameplays resume, they're going to fall into the perspective area. So for example, if you look at skill level 5, there is a gap, so the bubble is going to move. So again, I recommend you to pop from bottom left, top right, bottom left, and then bottom right, just to avoid the magic bubbles from being at the bottom of the screen. And as you see there, sometimes you get lucky at skill level 5 that you're able to get back into ability time and continue to cycle. And at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that to activate her ability, you're going to need to clear anywhere between 21 to 27 copies of her off the screen was on the higher end. But then when you factor in how easy it is to burst her magic bubble to clear additional Elegant Ariels off the screen, you're likely going to be able to get back into ability time and fever time with these special magic bubbles. So in reality, it's actually not too difficult to get back-to-back abilities activated. And I think it's pretty clear what Elegant Ariel is really good for, and essentially it's for making magic bubbles. She's not going to be great for score and not really that great for coins either. So if you are investing in Elegant Ariel, you should really only be doing that if you need a good bubble maker. And out of all the Ariels that are available in this game, Elegant Ariel is not going to be the best Ariel to get for making bubbles. However, she's still good, so if you are newer to the game or just recently returned and don't have a good bubble maker, Elegant Ariel is not a bad option. Unfortunately, her bubbles are not the item bubbles where you get additional time or additional coins. I think if we had that, it might be a little bit better. And here are the results for the 6 gameplays that you just saw. At skill level 1, I ended up with 1,208 coins, but 4 million points. And it's kind of interesting that for skill level 2, I got less score and just similar amount of coins. But it kind of makes sense because skill level 1 and skill level 2 has the same amount of bubbles on the screen. So it doesn't really change too much. And you can see that the same thing happens for skill level 3 and skill level 4. It's not until skill level 5 and skill level 6 that you see that big jump. And I think that getting these additional -2 Tsums to activate the ability really makes a difference because you're able to activate a lot more abilities at skill level 6 compared to skill level 5. So that's why you see that big jump there. And the score wise, it's also going to continue to go up. But keep in mind that all of these gameplays were my first attempts, and all of these gameplays were done with Elegant Ariel under level 5. So definitely a very low level Ariel, but still got a decent score at skill level 6. I am going to continue to level up these Elegant Ariels and Elegant Rapunzels and Elegant Tianas and share with you guys on a live stream how they perform at level 50, or at least close to level 50. I'm getting really close with Elegant Rapunzel to getting her to level 50, but I still got to work on Elegant Ariel as well as Elegant Tiana. So that's my review of Elegant Ariel. I hope that you guys found this video helpful or at least entertaining. And if you guys would like to see more Tsum Tsum content just like this, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching.